I heard you saw a new bird today.
Yeah.
What was that story?
Well, not a totally new bird. Saw a pelican.
Already discovered, right?
Yeah. I didn't even need to look at my book now. What should we do, John? We've been sitting here for months talking.
It's been a while. We're running out of food out here.
Yeah.
Oh.
There. The camera's on.
Whoa. Has this mic been here the whole time?
Check. What do we got, a Heimer episode
I guess we should do a Heimer.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Can we talk about those weird salamanders that change gender?
Yep.
Yeah? Oh, yeah? Okay.
Well,
What do you want to talk about? We've got so many ideas.
I caught wind of a special guest that may come on the show. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah.
She's not from around here.
Oh. Well, you're not either. You're from Valparaiso.
Yeah. Well, she's not from Indiana.
Oh. Not even Indiana.
Mm-mm. Maybe even further than that as well.
Like Illinois. Or Ohio.
I heard pretty far.
Okay. Well, do we want to try to introduce her, or do we want to just, are we going to talk about her, or how do we do that?
Well, if she comes, we could probably ask her a couple questions. Is she here yet?
I don't know, but that sunlight is bright. That probably messes up our image on the camera.
Yeah.
Hey!
There we go.
There we go. Yes. Hi, Jacinta.
Hi, Jacob.
Welcome.
Hi, John. Thank you.
Hello.
So much.
Welcome to the Heimer.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
It's a legendary show.
In a cozy little camper.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about where you're from. We were thinking outside of Indiana, somewhere.
Pretty close, though, right?
I wish, but I'm from very far, very, very far. I'm from Nigeria, actually. Yeah, and it's in Africa, and Nigeria is one of the most populated countries in Africa. Yeah.
Let's see, what other countries does Nigeria border?
We have Ghana, we have Chad, we have Niger. Those are most West African countries around Nigeria, yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been in the United States?
A month and a week, I guess, yeah.
So you fully assimilated, I'm sure.
Getting used to it.
Yeah.
So, what made you decide to come here?
I still ask myself the question sometimes. I think it's I've always wanted to travel as much as I can, but I didn't have a reason to. Okay, I'm like, even if I come for vacation, I won't stay for so long, and it's like, okay, so what do you think could bring you to another country? A good reason. I'm like, okay, could be work. Yeah, and the opportunity came. I applied for a job, I got the job, and here I am today. Yeah.
That is so cool.
So had you been out of Africa before?
Just for a holiday, I went to Dubai with my family, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just about 2 weeks, yeah.
So not too much then.
No, not too much, yeah.
Yeah. Well, can you tell us, talk a little bit about, some of the things that have been the biggest adjustment for you so far? Which things kind of have thrown you off the most?
I think before I came, I read a lot and browsed a lot and asked as many questions I could ask Google. But coming here, I think the environment is different from Lagos, where I'm coming from, because Lagos, it's a metropolitan city where it's very busy, a lot of people, so you don't have so many trees and grasses, and we have fenced houses, so you don't get to see your neighbors' houses. So I think that is one of the things that I had to get used to it, because you just come in out your door, you don't have a big gate to lock, and you don't have that's kind of different. And then also the weather, the weather is something that I'm trying to get used to. I know it's gonna get pretty cold, so I've been
It's gonna
told,
get
yeah.
very cold.
Right.
So yeah, so I think, well, basically now the weather is good because
Uh-huh.
it's basically what we have back in Nigeria. Yeah. Then the food too. Um, I think here the food is just like we do a lot of spices back home.
So it's bland.
Yeah, it was bland. Yeah.
We kind of knew that. Yeah.
I didn't want to say that word,
We just
but
eat
yeah.
corn, pretty much. Corn
Yeah,
and potatoes.
and cheese, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
the cheese.
where's the pepper? Where's the so it's
Yeah.
just plain. So I had to get. Well, although I had the mindset that okay, I'm gonna try new things first. Although I brought some things that I feel like I will need from home, but I think those are the major changes for me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What kind of foods are sort of staples there that you don't see too much of here?
Okay. I think what I won't find here is yam,
Mm-hmm.
and we have yams. We have cassava. These are tuber crops. Yeah, but the cassava we don't really boil it to eat. We dry it, make it into it's a long process. You dry it, you grind it, so you use it for your soup. So we call it gari.
You grind it into like a powder.
Yes.
And it's like
So-
a thickening agent. It makes something more thick. The soup.
It makes it. You eat it separately because we have our foods are pretty heavy. Yeah, I've seen here the foods are light, so we have heavy food, and so the gari it's more like I don't know if you know semovita. Semovita made from I think it's made from cassava too. What would I think? I think maybe like tapioca.
Mm-hmm.
So I think tapioca is made from cassava too.
Uh-huh. Okay.
If I'm right, I think so. But I think it's not as white as that. It's I have some at home though. I can show you, but I can't really explain. But it's from cassava, so I don't think I'll see yam. I don't think I'll see cassava. What don't I think I'll see? We have some leaves that we use that I know that I may not see, but like what I used to make soup. I've been told that you could use spinach to, do what you wanted to do with the afang, because I brought some leaves too to make the kind of food that we eat back at home. We have mostly the fruits you have here. Fruits. What again? Yeah, that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, switching subjects a bit on that. What about people? Like, how do you find? I know you haven't obviously been here too long, but what are some differences in people? Maybe the way people act, or
I think in Lagos people are always in a hurry. People are rushing, but here because people are much fewer, you don't have like maybe to work from where I stay to where I go to work now it's about 15 minutes. But some people spend like 2 hours going to work back at home. So everybody's in a hurry, wake up at 4 a.m. so you could get to work by 7. So it's really crazy. But here it's more like it's laid back and so you're not in a hurry. So because of that, I think people tend to be nicer here. Because in Lagos everybody's looking at you, everybody's minding their business, trying to get things done. So nobody has that time. But I see here people are intentional about being nice. I don't know, people just smile at you even if they don't know you, and I'm like, okay, this is new and it doesn't happen often at home because nobody's smiling at you. They're smiling at you. Why should you be smiling at me?
How does that make you feel if somebody's smiling
I'm
at you?
like, how do I do? What do I do? Am I to smile back? But I just tend to smile back now. Yeah, because when you just go to the shops and someone is just smiling, hi, I'm like, okay, this is good. But back home, nobody's gonna do that for you if they don't know you.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some of that might be just city life because
I was
feel,
thinking, if you're in New York, I feel like, or maybe LA, you're still, Chicago. You could be commuting a couple hours to work, and
people are a little bit more like what you're talking about, like not a lot of eye contact, and it's a bit different in the cities,
Okay.
But
yeah.
how about the? I guess the capital city there is kind of different, but if you get out in the countryside in Nigeria, is it still fairly densely populated, or does it thin out quite a bit.
Yeah, it does. Lagos is populated because you have a lot of companies there. You have a lot of head offices, so people come there to look for jobs. But you have smaller towns. You have much smaller towns. You have smaller villages that are not developed as much as Lagos is, where people still live on the farm, and it's very rural. So life is easier there too. Maybe because they don't have so much traffic. Things are much cheaper there, and then it's really, what will I say? I think their people are nicer too. Yeah, I think so too. But it's not as developed as like Lagos or the capital of Nigeria. So people tend to come out to bigger cities or the capital of your state to work and get jobs. Yeah, but I think Lagos is the most populated. So most people are in Lagos. Yeah, but you have smaller states and not as developed, but yeah, good enough. Yeah.
I know earlier we were talking about this.
Okay.
But maybe for Jacob and other people that may be listening in, what are the roads like there?
Okay.
Like traveling. So what side of the road do you drive on?
No, same side.
Same side.
Yeah,
Same side.
yeah.
And so that was easy.
Yes, yeah. It's
coming
same
here
side.
and
yeah.
not being freaked out.
It's
by
same
that.
side. Our roads are not as good, so you have a lot of construction on the road, so it takes you a longer time to travel. So maybe a trip that could have taken 2 hours, you're spending 6 hours because roads are bad, or probably they don't do the roads good enough when they're constructing it the first time, so it doesn't last as long as it should. So they're spending more time working on the road, and then people rarely travel by roads because it's much more tedious. Yeah, it's much like you're spending so many hours. It's unsafe because sometimes you could just have robbers on the road. People want to steal and all that, so people are scared of all this, or kidnappers. Yeah, it's really scary. But hey, so people fly most times, but people that still use road, I think the government was really trying to get police to help ensure the roads are safer. But I think we have, like here in Bloomington, the road network, I would say it's pretty much, Lagos roads are much more big because you have a lot of expressways, yeah, because it's a bigger city. But smaller towns, yeah, you have roads like this, yeah.
Do people ride bicycles a lot?
No.
No? Okay. Not too much here anymore either. A little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, people don't ride as much. But I think back in the villages, people do. Especially those that go to farm, that's their means of transportation. They use less, they don't have so many cars, so yeah.
What about, these are very broad, quick discussions, but what about religion? Is there the most common religion, or how does that work out in Nigeria?
Yeah, Nigeria is a very religious country.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Christian, and it's either you're Christian or you're a Muslim. So those are the two basic religions we have in Nigeria. So we do both Christian holidays and we have both Muslim holidays too. So if we're having Easter break, the Muslim, when there's a break, is also a national holiday for everybody. Yeah. So we have those two major religions because the president of our country is actually a Muslim. So yeah. So we do we have smaller religions? We do, but I think everybody just falls under the category of either Christian or Muslim. Even if they are smaller, maybe people that are atheists or agnostics or things like that.
Yeah.
Or you still have traditional worshippers, like before missionaries brought Christianity to Nigeria or to Africa, you had the gods that they were worshiping. You still have those smaller groups, but I think it's just splitting between either you're Christian or Muslim, or if you're filling a form, it's just Christian, Muslims, or other religion. So it just makes basically two.
But most people get along in the country concerning religion, then, or is there tension about some of that?
I would say in the north there's tension because it's mostly Islamic, as in Muslims are more there. So I think Christians are always easily attacked. Maybe it's really tense because you don't just say things maybe about the Quran, or about a Muslim or Muhammad or something, you could be killed, you could be burnt to death. So it's really crazy up north. But I think in other places it's not that bad, because I think people are just accommodating, you know. And I think most times it's because of the level of illiteracy back there. People, they don't really go to school, like, so they have their Muslim school, so it just teaches them about religion. So because of that, it's more like, okay, anything said against my religion is a problem with me, so you're going to die. Because I think recently we even had a case that was really bad. I think a girl in the university, she said something about on a school group in her about her classmates. I don't know, I don't really know the full story, but I know that they beat her and burnt her to death right there in the school. So it's pretty crazy, you know, up north. Yeah, I thought people were even saying that, okay, if you're a Christian, leave the north, but that's where they're from. It's hard to just leave where you know, so it's crazy. So they can't just leave because, you know, so I think most times they just try to make it work, or you just try to avoid anything that would stir up any kind of violence. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what about the government? I see. This is how little I know about Nigeria.
Okay.
Like, what is it? I have no idea. I mean,
okay, for our government, I think if you talk about problems you have in Nigeria, our government is one of them. Because
here too.
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as we have there, because we don't have any form of our judiciary system is really corrupt. So you don't really have people to hold people accountable. So people embezzle funds, use the money for hospitals or education for something, for personal use, and you know, nothing's gonna happen to you, you know. So it's really crazy. So governors don't do what they're supposed to do in their states, you know, and it trickles down to everybody. So everybody just looks for a way to go into the government and get as much money as they can, make themselves rich, you know. It's really crazy because Nigeria is a pretty rich country. Like, it's not a country in Africa that you say, oh, they're, you know, it's really, really, like, we have resources, crude oil, agriculture, yeah, that could be, you know, but it has been mismanaged. And so it's not as developed as it should be. The big towns, yes, maybe the capital, Abuja and Lagos, Port Harcourt, some other towns, but it's not for everybody. So you have people that are really living large, that personally own private jets and everything. Then you have those that can't even afford to eat. So the margin is really wide, and it's crazy. And most of these things, you know, that it's from it's government money, but nobody's going to hold you accountable. So it's really bad. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the government has money from taxes, like here? Is that how?
Okay, because we have crude oil.
Oh.
So yeah, so the revenue mostly is from crude oil. Yeah, we export, we import. Yeah, but I don't think that the money is channeled to the right. It's not used for the right things. So it's just for personal, you know, just from few government agencies that try to do what they're supposed to do. But other than that, corruption is really a problem. And I think it's more about the mindset of people. Yeah, I think more about people just feel, okay, this is normal, so everybody does it. Yeah, so I think that's it. Yeah. Well, I think we have, how many states do we have? We have 36 states in Nigeria. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah. We have about 36 states. I've only been to four states.
And does each state have a capital town? Or?
Yeah, every state has a capital. Yeah.
Are there any stereotypes based on what state you come from?
We have tribes. We have 3 major tribes. Our the national language is English, so every Nigerian should be able to speak English. You may not be able to speak it as good as other people, but you speak English, yeah. Then we have tribes. We have the Hausa, we have Yoruba, we have Igbo. Those are the 3 major tribes. So we have smaller tribes, but you fall into this category. Either you have Igbo, your Hausa, or your Yoruba. And yeah, So what I'm trying to answer is the question you asked is that we have stereotypes. So you have, sometimes you just have tribal clashes, Igbo or Yoruba or Hausa, or, it's pretty crazy. Or you want to have an election, because our election is February next year, and someone is running for office and you're for presidency, and you're like, oh, because he's an Igbo person, we're not going to vote for him, or because he's Yoruba, we're not going to vote for him. So it's really crazy like that, yeah. So then we have the other smaller tribes who feel that they should not also they shouldn't be under these three major tribes, because they are very different, their culture is different, the way they do things is pretty different. So we have those kind of clashes, now and then. Yeah.
So within these tribes, are there different political parties when somebody's running, or is it usually, if you're with the tribe, then it's the same kind of belief systems?
I think we have just two major political parties now. We have either the APC or PDP. We have two major political parties, but we have other smaller ones. But for the past, since we got our democracy in 1999, I think we've had either those two parties have either the president or either of the two. So the other parties are not as recognized. Maybe in other states, they could be the governor, or they could be in the House of Representatives or House of Senate. But for the presidency, we have those two parties. Yeah.
We have a duopoly here in this country too.
Either the Democrat or Republican, right?
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
I heard something about the Green Party. Up and coming.
They are, the Green Party.
The Green Party, yeah.
Some strong young leadership in that party, but we won't. Yeah, that's another.
Yeah, that's a different.
Yeah, I think even Nigeria too. We have, will I say, a young party? We call it Labour Party. Yeah, they are trying so hard to make sure the president comes from the Labour Party. This in next year, the youth are really fighting for it. They've been pushing, and I think now because of social media, they do a lot of social media, Twitter. They are there, But people say politics is from the grassroots. You have to go to the people who are going to go out and vote. You don't think you're going to stay online and win an election. Yeah, it's good. It gives you that publicity, but you really need to let people know. Since it's a new party and you're trying to push for an agenda, you have to, go to the grassroots and let them know that, okay, this is what we're trying to do, and let the people that, will I say, at the third tier of government know that not just staying online to push your agenda or say things about your new party. But we hope and we're wishing that they really win, because I believe that, what happens in Nigeria is we're a country that we respect a lot. Like, if someone is older than me, you should give that person respect, which is good. But I think that has made the younger people feel that they don't have a voice. So because of that, people that have been in government since the 80s, since we won our independence from the British government, it has been the same people in power, and things have changed over the years, So they're not making laws that have evolved with time, So I think that's basically, so the young people are really trying to push for Labour Party. I know they have the slogan, not too young to rule, So that's just it, yeah.
That's fitting, since this is being filmed on Labor Day in the U.S. to talk about a Labour Party in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah.